Alright. So, in the meantime, voiceover practice. This one is called The Classmate Murders by Bob Motes. Chapter 1. Turning 40 and then 50 years old didn't really bother me, but turning 60 was something I just couldn't accept. I ignored it the day it happened, or tried my best to do so despite my family and friends' attempts to make sure I didn't forget. Damn them. I was now 1 month past 50, and it still bothered me. The only good thing about it, I was just 1 year and 11 months away from Social Security. I grumbled around my tiny room, tapping the keyboards on my computers, bringing them out of sleep mode, and wishing I had something better to do with my life. Actually, anything at all would have been better since I was now doing nothing in the present time of my life. I was unemployed due to the stupidity of my former employers, an age-old problem for most good workers, and the state unemployment agency decided I didn't qualify for benefits. Maybe it's the fact that I had quit my job because I really hated it, possibly that there was a reason I was denied compensation. I wrote a nice letter in response to the request for more info. I explained that my former employers were jerks, that they were just abusing my good nature and forcing me to abuse my car and the duty of my job. I had spent the last 22 months as a security guard driving my car around a large suburban Detroit Cadillac dealership from 7 p.m. at night until 6 a.m. the next morning, guarding car tires that were the main goal for addicts and the poor to steal. They would steal them right off the cars. It amazed me that they would run a huge risk by being caught by hauling a heavy hydraulic jack, tire irons, and concrete blocks to remove about 2 to 4 tires that they would sell for a couple $100s. I was a good little trooper and managed to stop 2 attempts at theft, being told by my employer that I would get a whole $20 as a reward, which I never did receive. Not the first lie they told. Hello? Welcome. You notice the new setup? I don't think I'll be able to do this with Umineko. I can, but the text and everything would get all scrunched up in that little screen there, my current resolution. We can try it and see, but I don't think it will fit properly. Anyway, this one is The Dark Side of the Light Chasers by Debbie Ford. Any desire of the heart is there for you to discover and manifest. Whatever inspires you is an aspect of yourself. Be precise about what you admire in someone and find that part in yourself. If you have the aspiration to be something, it's because you have the potential to manifest what you are seeing. Hey, welcome. How to use a changing room. Never hit a jellyfish with a spade. I think this was the second one from that same bit. A changing room is halfway between a meeting room and a bathroom. It's the only place where you have to be businesslike and naked at the same time. Communal showers have 2 temperatures, glacial or scalding. Standing at one side with your hand in the shower will not significantly alter the temperature either way. At the very least, you can tilt your head into the shower for 2 seconds, keeping your body well clear, in order to give your hair the just showered look vital for the bar afterwards. It's important to wash your private bits in the shower, but they must only be given a brief buffing. Anything more leisurely will be seen as indulgence, bordering on wanton self-gratification. Once out of the shower, you should dry yourself immediately. Promenading with arms akimbo is a big no-no. At the other extreme, some people do their best to dry themselves as much as possible inside their locker. Others wrap a towel around their waist and then try to pass all their clothes up underneath. There are 2 places you are allowed to look in a changing room: the floor and the ceiling. You are also allowed to look in the mirror, but only to give your hair once through with a comb. Hours in front of the mirror, buffing up your hair will undo any amount of heroic performance on the sports field / exercise bicycle. In a communal shower, you should not stand face out, as this would be considered grotesque exhibitionism. Nor should you stand facing in, as this suggests you have something to hide. You should stand 45 to 115 degrees off center, and then lather yourself until you're covered head to foot in a wall of suds. Take 1 bottle of body wash into the shower, and 1 bottle only. Avoid bringing your own bar of soap from home in a plastic soap dish. If you drop your soap at any time, leave it. Don't go back for it. Simply rinse quickly and leave smartly. It's imperative never to speak to anyone in the changing room, ever, unless you have lost a limb or are attempting to evacuate the building. An occasional sorry is fine if you've accidentally put your shoes on someone's bit of bench. Never follow up with, my goodness, your buttocks have left a big wet patch on the bench. Some changing rooms have communal baths where the whole team can soak and have a chat. Remember, entry to a communal bath is by invitation only, so don't attempt to slip in where there is a full team of rugby players already ensconced. Oh, that was completely unexpected. Yes, I've played all 3 of the original Ace Attorneys. I've played Hall of Justice and a few of the Edgeworth ones. Any of the new stuff is I played like the first newish one, and apparently has some DLC or extra ones. So, but yeah, I've read most of them. Yeah. Dracula's monologue. Here I wait in this damp carriage. I can do nothing now but plan my journey back to my homeland. For I am now hunted by men who are determined to frustrate my designs. I, Count Dracula, hunted. My ancestors hiss at their ignorance of my power, but in a country that is not my own, I am weakened. But now they pursue me, and I run from them like a coward. She will do my bidding, come to my beckoning call, and they will never be able to bring her back. You see, I've stolen her sweet blood, and they can do nothing to subvert my cause. She will be my flesh and blood, my kin. Alright. Yep. I got on a tablet here too. Courtesy of Jesse. Been reading a bit of it, not a hell of a lot because I've been doing everything else. Recently it's been antennas. Like, that's been my whole life for the past week now. Anywho. That's not right. There we go. Alright. Okay, so, this is Phoenix Wright. Now, it looks like this because technically it was originally a game for the Game Boy Advance with a single screen, but then they ported it to the DS, which has screens like this, like Ghost Trick. But in Phoenix Wright, it's not really all that important that they line up like that, so I have them shifted over. It looks a bit better and works. Mainly just pay attention to the left screen. Anyway, this is Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. The first turnabout. Also, bear with me, but damn it, why me? I can't get caught. Not like this. I've got to find someone to pin this on. Someone like him. I'll make it look like he did it. I think I'm starting to come on with a little bit of a cold. Nothing serious, but noticeable. August 3rd, 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Boy, am I nervous. Right. Oh, hiya, Chief. Glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Give me one sec, I gotta check something. A little loud. There we are. This game is, by all accounts, it's a bit odd, but it's a very action-y oriented lawyer game. and it's incredibly silly out the wazoo. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like this. It says a lot about you, and your client as well. Thanks. Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. A favor? You mean, you knew the defendant before this case? Yes. Actually, I kind of owe my current job to him. Hated lawyer action. Objection. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney. Well, that's news to me. I want to help him out any way I can. I just really want to help him. I owe him that much. I believe he has. It's over. My life, everything, it's all over. Oh yeah, it's also very emotional, very sudden. So a bit of a change from Umineko. Isn't that your client screaming over there? Yeah, that's him. Death, despair. Oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna die. It sounds like he wants to die. Yeah. Nick. Hey. Hey there, Larry. Dude, I'm so guilty. Tell them I'm guilty. Give me the death sentence. I ain't afraid to die. What? What's wrong, Larry? No, it's all over. I'm finished. Finished. I can't live in a world without her. I can't. Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Aw, Nick, you gotta tell me. Who took my baby away? The person responsible for your girlfriend's death? The newspapers say it was you. Well, you'll have to get a bit used to that one. Flashes are a way to make impact. Like I said, this was on the Game Boy. It's about yay big. Well, hell, the screen used to be about yay big. So they had to scale up a lot of stuff. But my name is Phoenix Wright. Here's the story. Were you talking about the ones on the right? That's me touching the keyboard. Give me a sec. You can do it this way. You'll just have to bear with that one for now. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butts, my best friend since grade school. Our school had a saying, when something smells, it's usually the butts. I could maybe... In the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack for getting himself in trouble. One thing I can say, though, it's usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. But I know better than anyone that he's a good guy at heart. That, and I owe him one, which is why I took the case, to clear his name. And that's just what I'm gonna do. August 3rd, 10 a.m. District Court, Courtroom, number 2. The court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butts. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The, defense is ready, Your Honor. And here he is in all his stupid glory. Mr. Wright, this is your first trial, is it not? Yes, Your Honor. I'm, a little nervous. Your conduct during the trial will decide the fate of your client. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think you should have a test to ascertain your readiness. Yes, Your Honor. Hand shaking, eyesight fading. The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. Please state the name of the defendant in this case. As you can see, the right side is the touchpad on the game board, so I can select the answers and shit. Obviously, it's Phoenix Wright. The defendant? Well, that's Larry Butts, Your Honor. Correct. Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. Next question. This is a murder trial. Tell me, what's the victim's name? Phew, I know this one. Glad I read the case report cover to cover so many times. It's... wait. Uh-oh. No, wait, I forgot. I'm drawing a total blank here. Phoenix, are you absolutely sure you're up to this? You don't even know the victim's name? Oh, the victim. Of course I know the victim's name. I, just forgot. Temporarily. We can make objections. I think I feel a migraine coming on. Look, the defendant's name is listed in the court record. Just touch the court record button to check it at any time, okay? Remember to check it often. Do it for me, please. I'm begging you. Let's hear your answer. Who is the victim in this case? They're talking about the court record. This is the inventory for the game, and I can check out Cindy's autopsy report. Time of death, 7:31, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Cause of death, loss of blood due to blunt trauma. Alright, and that's... I can also do the profiles. Mia Fey, my assistant. Larry Butts, the defendant. Cindy Stone, the victim in this case, a model. She lived in an apartment by herself. And that's all the details are where you pick everything up. Cindy Stone. The victim's name is Cindy Stone. Correct. Now, tell me, what was the cause of death? She died because she was hit with a blunt object. She was struck once by a blunt object. Correct. You've answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you. Thank you, Your Honor. Because I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure. Well then, first, a question for the prosecution. Mr. Payne? Yes, Your Honor? As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what that object was? The murder weapon was the statue of the Thinker. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim. I see. The court accepts it into evidence. Statue added to the court record. Right. Be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during the trial. That evidence is the only ammunition you have in court. Touch the court record button to check the court record frequently. Yeah, so... unlike Battler, who can just spew out whatever the hell he wants, Phoenix is limited in how much he can spew out whatever he wants. He's got a health bar and such. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness. The prosecution calls the defendant, Mr. Butts, to the stand. Chief? What do I do now? Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything unfortunate. Uh-oh. Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad. Also, just to explain a bit about the world here. This is a mix between American and Japanese courts. So it's not a real court system. A lot of laws and stuff don't make any sense according to different countries. It's a mix. As such, the big one that a lot of people misunderstand is the Japanese system courts. Basically, you are guilty until proven innocent. So that's why we have to go so far in the games at times. Ahem. Oh, cool. I actually got other ones off to the side there. You can see a bit of it. I had other plans and ideas, but this works out so far, I guess. Mr. Butts, is it not true that the victim had recently dumped you? Hey, watch it, buddy. We were great together. We were Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra and Mark Antony. Didn't they all die? I wasn't dumped. She just wasn't taking my phone calls, or seeing me. Ever. What's it to you anyway? Mr. Butts, what you describe is generally what we mean by dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned you, and was seeing other men. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder. What do you mean, one of them? Lies, all of it, lies. I don't believe a word of it. Your Honor, the victim's passport. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died. Passport added to the court record. Indeed. She appears to have returned the day before the murder. Dude, no way. The victim was a model, but did not have a large income. It appears that she had several sugar daddies. Daddies? Sugar? Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle. Dude. We can clearly see what kind of woman this Miss Stone was. Tell me, Mr. Butts, what do you think of her now? Right. I don't think you want him to answer that question. Yeah. Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Should I wait and see what happens, or stop him from answering? My client has no idea the victim was seeing other men. That question is irrelevant to this case. Dude, Nick, what do you mean irrelevant? That cheating she-dog? I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna drop dead. Yeah, and when I meet her in afterlife, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. Larry Butts. Let's continue with the trial, shall we? I believe the accused's motive is clear to everyone. Yes, quite. Oh boy, this is so not looking good. Next question. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Well, did you or did you not? Well, maybe I did and maybe I didn't. No, he went. What do I do? Have him answer, honestly. I know. I'll send him a signal. Tell the truth. Yeah, I was there. I went. Order. Well, Mr. Butts? Dude, chill. She wasn't home, man. So, like, I didn't see her. Objection. Your Honor, the defendant is lying. Lying? The prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Butts is lying. Well, that simplifies matters. Who is your witness? The man who found the victim's body, just before making the gruesome discovery. He saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime. Order. Order in the court. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness. Yes, Your Honor. This is bad. On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Please, bring Mr. Frank Sod to the stand. By the way, this game likes puns if you can pick them out. Mr. Sod, you sell newspaper subscriptions. Is this correct? Oh yes, newspapers, yes. Mr. Sod, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder. Now here's where a lot of the game takes place. This is basically the red truth, and we gotta break it up with our evidence. I can't quite come up with an exact analogy. Witness's account. I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. The man who ran was, without a doubt, the defendant sitting right over there. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that. Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working? Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building. Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout? Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Sahit used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal. Blackout record added to the court record. Now, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? You may begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination, Your Honor? Alright, Wright. This is it. The real deal. What exactly am I supposed to do? Why, you exposed the lies in the testimony the witness just gave. Lies? What? He was lying? Your client is innocent, right? Then that witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is your client really guilty? How do I prove he's not? You hold the key. It's in the evidence. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in there. First, find contradictions between the court record and the witness's testimony. Then, once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness's face. Okay. Touch the court record button and point out contradictions in the testimony. In case you couldn't tell, this is the tutorial mission. It's also very, very short. Give me a moment here. And we're back. Okay. Witness's account. And here we go. Basic gist of it is, I can press him and get more information out of it, or I can present evidence. Like, he says, I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing the apartment. Well, according to this passport, you're wrong. How does that help? You gotta find the right one to do on the right testimony, is the basic puzzling aspect of it. Okay. For instance, here. Oh yeah, you can also, since this was built in the DS, you could be able to push a button. I think it was, which one is it? Yeah, there it is. I could scream "Objection" into the game, and it would do it for me. It's a neat little thing, but rarely used. Hold it! Isn't the man leaving an apartment a common sight? I find it odd you would take notice of him. I don't know, he just seemed strange to me, that's all. Like he was mad, and yet frightened at the same time. Just like a criminal fleeing the scene of a crime. The defense requests that the witness refrains from conjecture. Of course. What the witness means is that the man he saw looked suspicious. So, what happened next? I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Half open, you say? Yes, the door was open halfway, yes. I watched for a moment, but no one came to close the door. That's odd. In a big city like this, I thought. I see. And what happened next? And you get the gist of how it is. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. And what gave you the idea to do that? Well, the door was half open, you see. Isn't it only human to want to peek? We climb mountains because they are there. It's the same thing. truer words have never been spoken. Anyone would look inside. Why did pain cut him off so quickly? So, you looked into the apartment. What happened then? Then I saw her lying there. A woman. Not moving. Dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. Are you sure she was dead? Well, no, I guess I wasn't. But she wasn't moving at all, and there was blood everywhere. I guess that would look fatal to anyone. Very well. What happened next? I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. So, you didn't touch anything in the apartment? Yes. I mean, no, nothing. Okay. What happened next? You guys are already able to catch on to the problem here. I thought to call the police immediately. You thought to call the police? Does that mean you didn't actually call them? Please, listen to the rest of the testimony. You thought to call the police. What happened next? However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. The phone in her apartment wasn't working? Yes, I mean, no, it wasn't. Right. But you said you didn't go into the apartment, or did you? Oh, that? I can explain that. There was a cordless phone on a shelf in the entranceway. I reached inside and tried using that to call. And that phone wasn't working, correct? What happened next? I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. Why use a public phone? Well, you see, I don't have a cell phone. And being the middle of the afternoon, there was no answer to nearby apartments. Oh, right. What time did you call again? I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. 1 p.m. Are you certain? Yes, absolutely. He seems really confident. 1 p.m. Right. Doesn't that seem strange to you? Present some evidence to contradict him. Yeah. Give me a sec. Yes, I know. I misclicked. Dororo was selling subscriptions, so I must be in a hurry, thinking it's strange. And there we go. There we go. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. Autopsy report. Time of death, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. And as you can see, there's a contradiction there, so I object. You found the body at 1 p.m. You're sure? Yes, it was 1 p.m. For certain. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death at some time after 4 p.m. There was no body to find at 1 p.m. How do you explain this 3-hour gap? Oh, this is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time. After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Sahit, why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.? Gee, that's a really good question. Great job, Wright. Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. See through one, and their whole story falls apart. Wait, I remember now. Would you care to give your testimony again? Witness testimony. The time of discovery. Yeah. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video or a taped program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. Yeah, he said he didn't enter the apartment, but apparently the phone was just inside, and he just grabbed it like that and didn't go inside. But yeah, there's a lot of little stuff like that you try and pick up on. It gets more complicated later, further you go. I see. You heard a voice saying the time of a taped program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Right. You know what to do. I've got this one. Cross-examination. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. You said heard, not saw? Yes, heard. All I saw was the body lying there. I didn't think to look at anything else, least of all my watch. Isn't that a little strange? So you're saying you heard something, but if you were so shocked by the body, you wouldn't hear anything at all. The witness did say he actually heard the time. It's ludicrous to suggest he wouldn't hear anything. I have to agree with the prosecution. Witness, continue your testimony. There's a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Are you sure it was the television and not a radio? Well, no, I guess it might have been a radio. Incidentally, there was no radio on the premises. There was only one large television. Right. I can't put my finger on it, but something about this seems fishy. Something about hearing the television. The witness has testified. He heard the time. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? How do you explain the gap? Well, witness, can you explain this? As you can see, not every time you press somebody comes out with useful information. I guess the victim must have been watching a video or a taped program. Video? Yes, that would explain why the time was wrong. True, true. Right. I think the problem lies somewhere else. We're agreed that you heard the time at the scene then. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. Alright. So in light of, like, not really knowing, him not saying much that does that, look through the evidence. The autopsy report, not all that important. Statue. Type, weapons, a statue in the shape of the thinker. It's rather heavy. Passport. The victim apparently arrived from home from Paris on 7:30, the day before the murder. Blackout record. Electricity to Mrs. Stone's building was out from noon to 6 p.m. on the day of the crime. Hey, that looks interesting. There's a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. However, there was no power. Full of shit, man. Hold it right there. The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television, or a video. Yeah. Well, here... The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Sawit? No, I find it quite puzzling myself, quite. Wait, I remember now. Mr. Sawit? The court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. That, and you seem rather distraught. My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well, Mr. Sawit. Let's hear your testimony once more, please. Witness testimony. Hearing the time. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. You saw a clock? I guess that would explain it. Oh, that's it. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Gladly. Any of you able to pick up on what the problem is with his testimony? Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. That strikes me as a very suspicious mistake. Yes, I can see how you'd be a little doubtful. Really sorry, I only just remembered that table clock. Table clock? There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Table clock? Was there a clock at the scene? This is the first I've heard of it. Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. The murder weapon? Yes, the table clock that was used as a weapon. That's what I just said. Did you doze off in the middle of my testimony or something? Something's fishy here. That must have been what I saw. Alright. Also, as an aside, pressing on the last line of testimony causes them to end it, talk with a partner, and then reset to the start. So I tend to not do that one till last, or if I have to, just to save time. Anyway, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. A statue in the shape of the thinker. It's rather heavy. Just a bit, yeah. Or it also opted out for new mysteries, but yeah. This is not a clock, it's a statue. Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was this statue. Now how is this supposed to be a clock? You with your objections and your evidence. Just who do you think you are? Just answer the question, Mr. Saw It. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock. Your Honor, if I may... Yes, Mr. Payne? As the witness stated, this statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it, and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submitted it as a statue. My apologies. I see. So, the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright? It appears the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with this testimony now? Oh, no, we're good. Of course I do, man. Your Honor, there's a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly, a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he went into the apartment. You're lying. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Oh yeah? Prove it. Prove I went in there. I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with a clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard. Order in the court. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Saw It. The sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you're so certain about the time. Objection. What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture. Baseless? Just look at the witness's face. Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? That day, I never, look, the clock, I heard, no, I mean, I saw, Shut up, I hate you. It was him, I tell you. I saw him. He killed her, and he should burn. Burn! Give him death! Order. Order in the court, I say. Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claim. Mr. Wright. Your Honor? You claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? The whole case is riding on this. I'd better think it through carefully. Yes, Your Honor. The sound Mr. Saw It heard was definitely this clock. A fact which is clear if you simply ask the neighbors. I love some of these stupid answers. Try sounding a clock. Yeah, the judge very much likes his gavel. Let's sound the clock now. here in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I ask the court to listen very carefully. Beep. I think it's 8:25. That certainly is a strange way to announce the time. Well, he is the thinker, after all. So, we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now? It's 11:25. As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Sawit heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Sawit, try to talk your way out of this one. You forgot one thing. Uh-oh. What's he talking about? Well, it may seem like that clock is running 3 hours slow. It proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case. He's right. How am I going to prove that? Damn it, I was so close. Mr. Wright? It seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. Yes, Your Honor. This means I cannot let you indict the witness. Unfortunately. This ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Sawit. I come all the way down here to testify, and look what happens. They treat me like a criminal. A criminal. You lawyers are all slime. I almost had him. Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now. Not so fast, Mr. Sawit. Chief. Listen up, Wright. Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Think. But, Chief, it's silver. I can't prove the clock was slow the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that. Well, yes. But that doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason, and you'll have your proof. Right? Right? Can you think of a reason as to why the clock would be 3 hours slow? No. Wait. Maybe I can prove it. You must have evidence somewhere that can prove it, right? Find it, and let them have it. Well, Mr. Wright? You say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim? Of course. There's a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond a doubt. Ha! Tough words. Let's see you pull this one off. Let's see this evidence that proves why the clock was running slow. And as an aside, just a little bit of trivia. This badge is always in your inventory. No one would believe I was a defense attorney if I didn't carry this. The autopsy report, the statue, passport. The victim apparently arrived home on Paris on 7:30, the day before the murder. That would be a time change, wouldn't it? The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 p.m. there, it's 1 a.m. on the next day. Next day there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow. It was 9 hours fast. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in the apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Sawit? Or should I say, Mr. Did It? And they always have big old climactic final boss deaths. Order. Order, I say. Well, this case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your client, he was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly. Yeah. And find the true culprit at the same time. Thank you, Your Honor. At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butts, not guilty. Yeah, it's this first case. This is the first game with the first case, which is easy tutorial level. There's a lot of flaws with it, but it gets better. Trust me. And if you notice, somebody pointed this out a while back, and that guy never had a motive to kill her, but nobody cared. And with that, the court is adjourned. He just killed her. He was the guy who killed her because he's the guy who killed her. But yeah. It turns out that Frank Sod was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see where people were out of the house. That day, I guess that was it. When Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Sod let himself in to do his dirty work. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Sod grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find. But yeah, I guess that was one. His motive was figured out afterwards. August 3rd, 2:32 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. Yeah, it's a presumption of guilt. You noticed I had to, prove that he was the guy who did it, and I had to prove that the time was off in order to prove that my guy was innocent. Yeah. Like I said, you're guilty until proven innocent. Unless I can prove beyond the shadow of a doubt that that guy did it, my guy will be guilty. Even if 98% of the way proves it's him, if I don't do that last 2%, my guy is still guilty. That's how this court system works. Which makes a defense attorney be a really tough job. I still can't believe we won. Right. Good job in there. Congratulations. Thanks, Chief. How it all to you? Not at all. Not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since I've seen a trial end on such a satisfying note. I've never seen the Chief looking this happy. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel. My life is over. Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now? Aw, Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon. Good. Wait, no. I mean, bad. Bad, bad, bad. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed. But my Cindy. Wendy's gone, man. Gone forever. Larry, she was a... never mind. Congratulations, Harry. Harry? Yes, you. I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Butts, innocent. Thanks. I really owe you one. I won't forget this. Ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner? Movie? My treat. Oh, no, I couldn't. Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook. Oh, hey. Here, take this. It's a present. A present? For me? Wait, wasn't this the evidence that... Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me. Really? You? You made this? Oh, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento. Yo, Nick. Can you believe it? I was so into that chick. And she just saw... And she was just playing me for a fool. Don't that make you just want to cry? Larry. Are you so sure? Did it squeeze me? I think she thought quite a lot of you, in her own way. Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me. It's okay. Oh, I'm not just sympathizing. Really. Isn't that right? Right. Don't you have something to show your friend? Something that proves how she felt about him? Huh? Oh yeah, right. What the heck is she talking about? Check this out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't just some chump to her. Huh? Where'd you get that clock? This is the clock you made for her, Larry. She took it with her when she traveled. She probably just needed a clock, that's all. You think so? It's a pretty heavy clock to take traveling. Well, make of it what you will. Hey, Nick. I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am. Thanks. Hope that made him feel a little better. Right? I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully you realize, things change depending on how you look at them. People too. We never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. And in order to believe in them, you have to believe in yourself. Right. Listen, learn, grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off? Yeah, I guess so. Say, how about dinner on me? We'll drink a toast to innocent butts. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Harry, you were saying part of why you became a lawyer was because of him. Yeah, part, at least. You'll have to tell me more about it sometime. Maybe over drinks? And so, my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends. But I'm pretty sure he's not going to pay me, unless you count the clock he gave Mia." I didn't know it then, but that clock was soon going to be at the center of another incident. And my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep. The end. So, how'd you like Phoenix Wright? Pretty cool game, huh? That's just the first episode. Brand new episode has been added. Save cleared save set at this point? Yes, sure. Let's go do that. And one of the neat things, when you finish an episode, it gives you some artwork on it. Again, it's supposed to be on top of each other, but Larry Butts and his girlfriend. Alright, give me a sec here. It uses a shaky one, yeah. Being on the clock. Indeed, indeed. And yeah, Beatrice, that first one is kind of the forgotten episode. It's just a thing that happened. The other ones get much better. More logical and a lot more airtight. Beep. Hello? This is Maya. Hey, Maya, it's me. Maya, what's up? You haven't called in a while. Sorry, I've been so busy. How have you been? Well, lonely. And it's all your fault. Nah, just teasing. I've been great. I'm finally getting used to having my own place. That's good to hear. Actually, I'm calling because I have a favor to ask. I know. You want me to hold evidence for you? Sharp as always. There's a lot of buzz about the upcoming trial. I just don't feel safe keeping the evidence here. I gotcha. So, what is it this time? It's a clock. A clock? Yeah. It's made to look like that statue, the Thinker, and it tells you the time. I thought you might like it. You always like toys. Hey, I'm not a little girl anymore, sis. Now, you know I'm only teasing. I should probably tell you, the clock isn't talking right now. Huh? It's not working? That's lame. I had to take the clockwork out. Sorry. I put some papers inside it instead. Papers? Is that the evidence then? Well, there's a possibility that it might turn out that way. Yes. Can you come by the office tonight? Say 9 o'clock to pick it up? I'll be in the pre-trial meeting until then. Okay, sis. But I expect dinner. Something good. Like burgers. I could really go for a good burger. Okay. We'll hit the usual joint. Alright, it's a deal. Okay, sis. See you soon. Yep. I'll be waiting, Maya. Beep. Conversation recorded. September 5th, 9:27 a.m. September 5th, 8:57 p.m. Fay & Co. Law Offices. Now, Miss Fay, I'll take what's mine. The papers. I'm sorry, but I can't give you what I don't have. Miss Fay, you are a poor liar. Why, I see it right over there. That must be the thinker that swallowed those papers. How could you know? You're not cogniferous of my background. Gathering information is my business, you see. I should have been more careful. Oh, my dear Miss Fay, I am so very sorry. But I'm afraid I must ask you for one more thing. Your eternal silence. Farewell, Miss Fay. Doesn't an electric clock can't be late? Well, clocks can always be late. Clocks are different. September 5th, 9:08 p.m. Fay & Co. Law Offices. Uh-oh. I'm late. Huh? That's strange. The Jesus must have gone home already. She said her sister was coming over, so we should all go out for dinner. What's that smell? Blood? Bea! Maybe she's in her office. Now we come to the other half of the game, where we can move around and explore a bit. You gotta have some liberties in this game. It's, like I said, it's a mix of multiple laws and things, so bear with me. That smell. Blood. So, sis. Someone's there. Chief? Chief? Chief! Who are you? The strange girl dropped out cold. I left her lying on the office sofa. I went back to the chief where she lay under the window. Her body was still warm. I could feel it when I held her shoulder. Then, all too quickly, it began to fade. Till finally, she was cold. Chief. Alright, so in this game there's also examination bits. And you can see I can move around and select things to look at. For example, her. Chief. It's hard seeing her like this, but if there are any clues here, she was struck on the head with a blunt object. She probably died instantly. The thinker, lying next to her, must have been the murder weapon. The thinker added to the court record. This right here is what a lot of people do have problems with. You look and gather evidence in an unofficial capacity that is then used in an official capacity, so just go with it. There's some glass shards near the chief's body. Must be pieces of the glass light stand. Must be pieces of the glass light stand lying broken in the back of the room. Glass shards added to the court record. Nothing else that seems like a clue here. A piece of paper. Must have fallen from Mia's hand. What could it be? And it's very specific on the things you can examine. You need to be accurate. There's one later in the game that took me forever to find. A word is written in blood on this scrap of paper. Maya. Did Mia write this? This piece of paper is a receipt from a department store, dated yesterday. Receipt added to the court record. I think that's enough sniffing around for now. I'd better call the police. I find out what that girl was doing here. That girl just now. Where'd she go? I put her right there on the sofa. Uh-oh. I hope she didn't run on me. What? Don't scare me like that. Excuse me, but who are you? It's okay, I work here. Maya. Maya Fey. Maya Fey? Maya? So, Mia was writing this girl's name. Maybe I should show her the receipt? I never thought there'd be a use for evidence like this outside the courtroom. Before Mia died, she wrote a message with her own blood. She wrote it on the back of this receipt. That's my name! Why? Why would she write my name? Please, just calm down. Why would Sis write my name? Uh-oh. Now I've done it. I better hurry up and call the police. What happened? She seems to be in shock. I don't want to disturb her, but I have to know. Excuse me. Can you tell me what happened? I came in. The room was dark. And Sis... So she was already dead. You and the Chief. So, you're the Chief's sister. I'm her younger sister. And you were here visiting? This late at night? Yes. She said you wanted me to keep some evidence for her. Evidence? Yes. It was that clock. It was the thinker. No. I think the first episode was the setup for this one, which is an actual trial. They get crazier, trust me. It's not just all the thinker. I think there's a phone in here. The reception desk. I usually sit here. Nope. Oh, I think there's a phone in here. That's what it is. Right. I'd better call the police. That's funny. A few of the screws on the receiver are missing. Looks like someone was halfway through taking it apart. Police! Please, come quick! What was that? Someone screaming from the outside the windows? She's staring right at me. She's holding a phone in her hand. There's a large building right across from the office. The Gatewater Hotel. A nice, luxurious place. And yet the phone receiver's missing a few screws. I'd better not use it. That's what it is, alright. Wow, police really are quick in this area. The police! Sounds like they're coming this way. Freeze! Police! And here's Detective Dick Gumshoe. See? I think he's one of my favorite characters. Gumshoe? What an odd name. Receives a report from the building across the way, see? Got a person saying they saw a murder. It must have been that woman I saw. Anyway, I don't want either of you moving 1 inch, okay? Great. Just great. Maya. Wait. She wouldn't have... No. Ugh. Excuse me. Me? This word Maya here mean anything to you? That's my name. What? The victim drew this here note in her own blood, see? With her dying breath, she wrote down the killer's name. Killer? I'm not... Case closed. You're coming down to the precinct, ma'am. What? Mia's younger sister, Maya, was arrested on the spot. I was taken in for questioning and didn't get out until the next morning. My eyes were heavy, but I couldn't sleep. I sat around, waiting for visiting hours to begin at the detention center. I had to talk to Maya as soon as possible. Air miles, huh? I love Gumshoe. September 6th, 9:07 a.m. Detention center. Visitor's room. Wow. They have poor Maya locked up like a criminal. Oh. It's you. The lawyer. Good morning. Good morning. She looks so tired. Are you going to be my attorney? Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. I'd better give it to her straight. It's up to you. Up to me? Yes. I don't think this is something I should decide. After all, you're the one in trouble here. They're never going to believe me, are they? Even you, when you found me in the office, you looked at me like I had done it. Did I look at her like that? No, I never thought... It's okay. I understand. And I've also heard about you. Heard? Heard what about me? I was talking to my sister on the phone the other day. Today was my junior partner's first time in court. Wow, really? How'd that go? It was quite the scene. Honestly, I was on edge the whole time. It's been a while. So, he crashed and burned? He's a genius. I would not go that far. One of those strike fear into the hearts of evil types. The only thing he's lacking is experience. Huh. Sounds like it was fun. Well, I know who to go to if I ever get into trouble now. I don't know, Maya. I think you might want to wait. Give him 3 more years. That is, unless you want to be found guilty. That's what she said. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to trouble you. No, it's okay. It's true, I guess. But at the same time, I can't just sit and watch. When I think of the person who did this to Mia. I know. Such a sad face. But yeah, Gumshoe, he's... I love Gumshoe just because of how much heart you put into it. And, for some of you, foreigners, I'm not quite sure how well it translates, but Gumshoe is the old name for a detective. So his name is Detective. I don't trust Maya. You mean with a face like that, you don't trust her? Her own sister? You heartless fiend, you. There's something I've been wanting to ask you. Yes? What's with that outfit? Oh, this? This is what all acolytes wear. It's my uniform, you could say. Acolytes? Like people in religious training? What is it to you? What is it you do? Oh, that's nothing strange, really. I'm a spirit medium, in training. Spirit medium? I'm pretty sure that qualifies as strange. The day of the crime. Could you tell me about the day of the murder? Yes. Let's see. That morning, I got a call from my sister. She wanted me to hold on to a piece of evidence for an upcoming trial. Evidence? Yes, that clock shaped like the Thinker. The one Larry made. How could that have been in an evidence case? Right. She said something about that. Give me a sec. I remember. Do you want to hear it? In her own voice? Her own voice? Yes. I'm pretty sure our conversation is on my cell phone. You recorded it? Yeah. I forgot how to delete those things. I actually don't know how to record a conversation while I'm having it on a cell phone right now. And I'm the repair guy. I don't know. So you say you have a conversation with your sister on your cell phone? Let's hear it. Right. Oh. I just remembered. That detective took my cell phone. Sorry. Oh, right. Of course. Next time I see Detective Gumshoe, I'll ask him for it. I'll write you a note so you don't forget, okay? Sure, thanks. Maya's memo added to the court record. Let's look about spirit mediums. So, you're an acolyte, medium in training? A small medium at large. That's right. The Fae family, especially the women, have always been very sensitive to the spirit world. Wait a second, you said the Fae family? So, Mia was into this stuff too? Of course. She left the mountain to follow her career, she said. Her powers were first class too. I had no idea. Wait, what? So, you're a real, honest-to-goodness spirit medium? With ESP and all that? Yes, in training. Well, can't you contact Mia's spirit then? We can just ask her who killed her. I'm sorry. I'm still in training. I couldn't do something on that level. I thought that would be too easy. Huh? Something the matter? I was wondering, could I ask you a favor? This is the address of a famous lawyer. My sister gave me this a long time ago. She said if I was ever in trouble, I should call him. And, well, I'm in trouble. Do you think you could go and ask him to represent me? Sure, why not? I'll go ask. Thank you so much. I have no one else to turn to. Say, what about your parents? I see. Don't worry. Leave it to me. Thank you. The trial's tomorrow at 10. What? Tomorrow? Tomorrow. What if this guy refuses? They told me if I don't find one, the state will pick an attorney to defend me. When will that happen? They're giving me until 4 this afternoon. And visiting hours are almost up. I'd better hurry. Right, I'll be back. One more. Could you tell me about the day of the murder? Sorry, I know it must be hard. No, it's okay. All I've been doing the last few hours is talking about it. I've kind of gotten used to it. Let's see. That morning I got a call from my sister. She wanted me to hold on to a piece of evidence for an upcoming trial. That's the thinker clock that Larry made. It practically qualifies as a serial murderer by now, I think. So then, when did you arrive at the office? It was right around 9 o'clock. The lights were off and I could smell blood. Then I found her, my sister. Thanks, Maya. That's all I need to hear for now. Alright. And that spirit medium does come into play later. It's not just a job. Alright. And what was the note? The conversation I had with my sister is recorded on my cell phone. A department store receipt with letters written in blood on the back. The broken remains of a glass light stand, broken beyond all recognition. And the thinker statue. The murder weapon. Looks like a statue, but it's actually a clock. Made by Larry Butts. September 6th, Grossberg Law Offices. According to the receptionist, the big boss is out. She couldn't say when he'd be back. Must be hard to keep track of everything when you're a famous lawyer. Not to mention run an office like this. I guess I'll just have to come back later. Okay. Yeah, it's I can't remember everything you need to do in the games. So bear with me as I bumble around, but that is part of the game. September 6th, Fae & Co. Law Offices. The office is filled with police officers. They're all busy searching for clues. Hey, you there! This is a crime scene, pal. No trespassing. Sorry. Don't I know you from somewhere? Wait, you're that Butts guy, aren't you? No, Phoenix Wright. How could anyone mistake me for Larry? Guess I got the wrong name, Mr. Wright. Sorry about that. That Butts guy, he was a killer. And you're no killer, right? He was proven innocent. Right. And you were... Detective Gumshoe, Detective Suede Shoes, Detective Gumtree. Gumshoe, wasn't it? Dick Gumshoe? Right. At your service. Hang on. That's Detective Gumshoe to you, pal. Anyway, get the name right. His entire name, the Detective Dick Gumshoe, is like Detective. Anyway, get the name right. And don't go calling me Dick. Hey, Dick, get over here. Yes, sir. Be right there. You're her lawyer, right, pal? If you got business here, you'd better do it quick. He thinks I'm Maya's lawyer. Sweet. Okay. About Miss Fay. Did you do an autopsy? You want to know the results? Yeah? Now don't you look at me like that, pal. It's no use. She might have been your boss, but that doesn't mean you get any special treatment. Alright, you can see the report. But that's all. Autopsy report added to the court record. About Maya. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the trial. Sorry, pal, but this is one trial you aren't going to win. Why do you say that? The city's put Prosecutor Edgeworth on the prosecution. Edgeworth? I'm sure you know what that means, you being a lawyer and all. Prosecutor Edgeworth. That's right, pal. Mr. Miles Edgeworth himself. Wait, you do know him, don't you? Let's go with of course not. Never heard of him. Whoa, and you call yourself a lawyer, pal? About 4 years ago, this Edgeworth guy became a prosecutor at the age of 20. Everyone says he's a genius. Surprised you don't know him. Of course I know him. I was just playing dumb. He's a cold, heartless machine who'll do anything to get a guilty verdict. There are rumors of back alley deals and forged evidence. All I know for sure is that Edgeworth hates crime with an almost abnormal passion. I never imagined I'd be facing him so soon. Okay. And in this mode you can also show people things. There was broken glass at the crime scene, right? Oh, that? Seems like a glass stand next to the victim fell over. A glass shards were pieces of the broken stand. Sometimes it's useful, sometimes it's not. I was wondering, did you see Maya Fay's cell phone? Oh, that? I have that. Do you think you could give it back? Sure. I mean, wait a second, pal. Tricky lawyer. Uh-oh. He's on to me. Tell him straight or tell him not so straight? If I tell him why I want it, there's no way he'll give it to me. Something the matter? Oh, no, it's just, you know, detective. Nope, I know nothing, pal. That cell phone has a lot of numbers on it, like your boyfriend's. A cell phone holds all a little girl's sweetest and spiciest secrets. You're trying to confuse me. Sorry, pal. I already checked all the numbers in memory. Impressive. You're quite the detective. Uh-huh. Oh, here. You can have the phone back. There weren't any suspicious call records in there, after all. Seems he didn't notice the recorded conversation. Received Maya's cell phone. Check the court record to hear the recorded conversation. I guess I've asked all the questions I need to. You all done, pal? Yes. Thank you. I'll be heading out now. Oh, wait. One more thing I wanted to mention to you. I don't suppose you're planning on talking to that witness. Anyway, you'd better not. No influencing the witness with your lawyerly ways, pal. Come to think of it, I had completely forgotten about her. The witness? Yeah, Miss April May. I'm sorry about this, but I can't tell you anything about her. Well, you just told me her name. Miss May, huh? So, you sent her home already, then? You're trying your lawyerly tricks on me now. She's not to go outside her room until the trial. So, she's still in the hotel across the way. I guess I should know better than to try to get a detective to leak information. You got that right, pal. Time to pay a visit to Miss May. And as you can see, he's really good at his job. Oh, yeah, it's gonna look at that. Holds a conversation between the chief and Maya. Touch the check button to listen. Yeah, what's up? You haven't called in a while. Well, actually, there's something I want you to hold onto for me. Again, what is it this time? It's a clock. Something lame. It was basically that conversation we had at the beginning of the game. Alright. So, let's go check out the Gatewater Hotel. September 6th, Gatewater Hotel, room 303. Well, hello there, handsome. Hi. Smooth, right? Real smooth. You're the lawyer, aren't you? The detective told me. He said, don't say nothing to the lawyer, pal. Memo to self. Thank Detective Gumshoe for making my job harder. Gee, this is all like something out of a movie. It's all so exciting, I can hardly contain myself. Oh, let me go freshen up so I can look the part of the beautiful eyewitness. I pity the lawyer that has to cross-examine this one. There's a thing there. There's a screwdriver stuck in this drawer. I wonder what's inside. Let's take a look. Hey! Hey! What are you doing? No touching! Ooh, bad boy. You really shouldn't pry around in other people's rooms now. You wouldn't want to make me upset, would you? Upset? I thought you was going to explode for a second there. I wonder what could be inside the drawer. What you witnessed. Do you think you could tell me something? I need you to describe what you observed at the time of the incident. Oh, observe? Incident. You sound just like a lawyer in the movies. I like a man with a big vocabulary. Better not encourage her. You know that thing that happened the other day? The bad thing? What did you see when it happened? I don't suppose you could tell me about it? Pretty please? Let me see. Well, dream on. If you want to know, you'll just have to come to the court tomorrow, Mr. Lawyer. Oh boy. Could you just... Who exactly are you? Oh, Mr. Lawyer. Are you hitting on me? No, hey, I'm just doing my job here. You know, you're cute when you blush. Believe me, this is the first time in my life I've blushed this much. Right. Can you just tell me what it is you do? Well, no. But you had your little hopes up, didn't you? Oh boy. I see there are 2 glasses on the table. Is someone staying here with you? Ooh, what amazing powers of observation. You must be one of those famous detectives, like on television. Oh, no, not me. I'm, just a lawyer. Say, Mr. Big Detective, why don't you go look for clues in the garage, in the garbage, Miss May doesn't like nosy little lawyers. Yeah, boy. I guess that's that. Alright. Oftentimes there's a lot of just running around and doing things. So there's a lot of dead ends and just running around, especially when I forgot where to go. Hey, what is it? Did you meet the lawyer? Sorry, I haven't seen him yet. I see. Better go see if I can find this elite lawyer she's talking about. Like this, so bear with me as I try and find out what the hell I'm supposed to do. Seems like Mr. Grossberger's out. Well, maybe I should just wait here for him to come back. Damn. Yes, that was the most over-the-top clearing of the throat I've ever heard. Aha. So you're the one they say has been looking for me. Yes, that's me. He looks even grander than I imagined. That badge on your collar. Oh, so you're a lawyer, are you now? Yes, well, yes. And what do you want? I'm not particularly busy these days. Please proceed. Not busy? Then how come no one could get in touch with you? Something the matter? You came to see the one and only Marvin Grossberg, did you not? Well, here I am, boy. What do you want? Out with it. Well, sir, actually, it's about Maya. Maya Fey. Yes, Maya Fey. Go on. Why this strange reaction? I'm really quite busy here, son. I can't go taking cases on a day's notice. No, it's quite impossible. Wait a second. How did you know the trial was tomorrow? Anyway, I'm afraid it's entirely impossible for me to represent her. Sorry. End of discussion. What's going on? He refused me before I even got the chance to ask him. What do I tell Maya? We still haven't met all the characters in this case, which... Yeah, it's, not all the characters are shown at the beginning. That's... Well, it depends. But yeah, there's a lot of characters in the stories, which makes things really interesting. How can you just refuse like that? Please, tell me why you want me to take the case. Well, you see, it's just... I'm busy, you see. But the client is Mia Fey's sister. Mia trusted you. She knew her sister would be in good hands. Yes, of course. I know that. However, I'm sorry, but I must refuse. Sorry. Goodbye. Creep. Fine. I don't have time to argue with you anyway. I'll go look elsewhere. Grumble. Think not. Did you say something? I think not, I said. What do you mean? I'm terribly sorry, but I'm afraid that no lawyer worth their salt will take on this particular case. Terribly sorry, my boy. Why? I cannot say. I beg your pardon, but could you leave now? I've nothing more to discuss with you. What's going on here? How did you know Mia Fey? She worked here a long time ago. Quite the apprentice, that one. Learned my techniques in the blink of an eye. She left one day, quite suddenly. She had a mission, you see. Mission? You could see it in her eyes. She followed it with a burning passion. Never looked back, that one. Alright, I'm not going to talk about the painting. It's not why the hell I'm here. Save some time, maybe. That's quite a painting. Aha, you noticed. It's my pride and joy. Impressive, isn't it? Well, isn't it? The colors of the sky, the hue of the sea, the wave of the straw hat. It's worth at least 3 million. I have no intention of parting with it, of course. No, I won't sell it, not even to you. I wasn't interested. It's not for sale. I'm not buying. Jeez. Oh, that was pointless, like I originally thought. Yay. Maybe I can do this. No, she never gave it to me. Alright, back to Maya. September 6th, 3:42 p.m. Detention Center. Visitor's room. Hiya. Oh, you're back. Did you find the lawyer? Well, what do I tell her? Well, see, just be honest. I really don't think you should use that guy. He didn't seem healthy. He was all skin and bones. Really? What really happened? You don't mean he refused to help? I see. I've been abandoned then. what about your family? I only had my sister. My father died when I was very young, and I don't know where my mother is. Don't know? So she'd still be alive? The women in my family have been mediums for generations. They say that ESP runs in our blood. About 15 years ago, our family was involved in an incident. There was a man, and he ruined our mother's life. Ruined? After that, she disappeared. Several years after that, my sister announced she would become a lawyer, and she left the mountain. So, you live by yourself? Yes, I've gotten used to it. Oh, also, I had to become independent, or I would lose my ESP. I feel bad for her, all by herself, up on that mountain. Your mother's enemy. So, who was this man who, ruined your mother? About 15 years ago, there was an unusual murder case. It made quite a stir. Everyone was talking about it, apparently. The police were running out of leads, and they were getting desperate. Wait, they didn't use the spirit medium, did they? The police convinced my mother to try and contact the victim. Wow, so what happened? The case was solved, we thought. You thought? The man my mother helped the police capture was innocent. The police's consultation with the medium had all been carried out in secret, of course. But a man found out about it and leaked it to the press. He told all the papers that my mother was a fraud, and the media jumped on it big time. She, my mother, became the laughingstock of the nation. I see. White. Excuse me? White? That was his name. My sister told me. White? Just a little longer now, before the state-appointed lawyer comes, I guess. 4 p.m. Time's up. What should I do? Do I just leave her and go home? Obviously we go home. I've made up my mind. I'm going to defend you whether you want me to or not. Why? Why? Well, I can't abandon you. No one is as sad as a person without any friends. I know. I've been there a long time ago. Why did I become a lawyer in the first place? Because someone has to look out for the people who have no one on their side. Maya, I won't abandon you. You can count on me. That's so kind of you. Well, let's fight this one and get you out of here. Right. Thank you. Oh, she smiled at last. She looks like an entirely different person. One last question. You are innocent, right? Yes. And I trust you. So you trust me too, okay? It's a deal. So, what next? There's something that's been bugging me. Just what was inside that strange woman's drawer? It was when I tried to look into the drawer that she got all defensive. There has to be something in there. Alright. I think this will do something. Hey, I got your cell phone back. Oh, say. Can I listen to my sister's voice? Maya's eyes closed. She listened to every word with such intensity. Before long, tears began to roll down her cheeks. Thank you. Alright, so let's go check out the hotel then, I guess. Good afternoon, sir. Excuse me. You are... Ah, I beg your pardon, sir. I am the bellboy of this establishment, at your service, sir. Oh, right. I've just come up to deliver room service, sir. Do you know where Miss May might be? I believe our guest Miss May is currently using the, facilities? If you have no need of anything, I'll be taking my leave. Please, stay as long as you like. Enjoy. Yeah. Wait, no, hey! Why does it seem like every time I come here, I end up embarrassing myself? Wait, now's my chance to snoop around a bit. I almost forgot. You came back quick. Might I ask you to inform Miss May that there is a message for her? Please tell her that Mr. White of Blue Corp phoned. Oh, right. Sure. Mr. White of Blue Corp? Where have I heard that name? White. That was his name. My sister told me. White was the name of the guy who ruined Mia and Maya's mother. Could it be a coincidence? Maybe. There's a screwdriver sticking out of that half-open drawer. Now's my chance to see what's inside. What do we have here? A wiretap? Huh. What would a woman like her be doing with a thing like this? Wiretap added to the court record. There's definitely something suspicious about this Miss May. Why would she have something like this in her hotel room? There's a story behind all this. I know it. Alright. I'll be using this bit of evidence in tomorrow's trial, that's for sure. For Maya's sake. I'll get to this woman's bottom. Wait, I mean, you know what I mean. Oh. Bellboy? You still there? Uh-oh. Time to scram. I look forward to tangoing with you tomorrow, Miss May. In court. Gotta specify in court with this guy. To be continued. September 7th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 1. Oh, now we get to introduce Edgeworth. The court is now in session for the trial of Miss Maya Fey. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Miles Edgeworth. I'd better not show any signs of weakness today, or he'll be on me in an instant. Mr. Edgeworth, please give the court your opening statement. Thank you, Your Honor. The defendant, Miss Maya Fey, was at the scene of the crime. The prosecution has evidence she committed this murder, and we have a witness who saw her do it. The prosecution sees no reason to doubt the facts of this case, Your Honor. I see. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Let's begin then. You may call your first witness. The prosecution calls the chief officer at the scene, Detective Gumshoe. Hi, Gumshoe. Witness, please state your name and profession to the court. Sir, my name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm the detective in charge of homicides, down at the precinct, sir. Detective Gumshoe, please describe for us the details of this murder. Very well, sir. Let me use this floor map of the office to explain. The body was found by this window here, and the cause of death? Loss of blood due to being struck by a blunt object, sir. The murder weapon was a statue of the thinker found next to the body, sir. It was heavy enough to be a deadly weapon, even in the girl's hands, sir. The court accepts the statue as evidence. They're still calling it a statue. Floor plans added to the court record. Now, detective. Yes, sir. You immediately arrested Miss Maya Fey, who was found at the scene, correct? Can you tell me why? Yes, sir. I had heard hard evidence she did it, sir. Detective Gumshoe, please testify to the court about this hard evidence. Witness testimony. Maya Fey's arrest. As soon as the phone call came in, I rushed to the scene. There were 2 people there already. The defendant, Miss Maya Fey, and the lawyer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I immediately arrested Miss Maya Fey. Why? Why? We had a witness account describing her. The witness saw Miss Maya Fey at the very moment of the murder. The very moment, you say. Very well. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examine what? I couldn't see a single contradiction in that testimony. Whoosh. Smack. Hey, I just threw something at me. What's this? When my sister couldn't find any contradictions in the witness's testimony, she would bluff it and press the witness on every detail. The witness always slips up and says something wrong. It worked lots of times. I should have expected Maya would know some of her sister's tricks. Alright, let's give this a try. Something the matter? No, Your Honor. I'd like to begin my cross-examination. Maya Faye's arrest. As soon as the phone call came in, I rushed to the scene. There were two people there already. The defendant, Miss Maya Faye, and the lawyer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I immediately arrested Mrs. Maya Faye. Why? We had a witness account describing her. The witness saw Miss Maya Faye at the very moment of the murder. Alright. Let's go with this one. Are you absolutely sure it was us? Listen, pal. Your dumb act will only get you so far. With her funky hippie clothes and your spiky hair, you two stand out like suspicious people at a crime scene. Well, he does have a point about her. She is pretty unmistakable. I should pick my points to press with a little more care. I immediately arrested Miss Maya Faye. Why is that? What's your reason? Why? We had a witness account describing her. Hold on just 1 second. Yeah? If I heard correctly, you said you arrested her because you had hard evidence she did it, correct? Huh? Did I say that? Me? I heard you say it. You did say it. You said it. Exactly what about this suspicious woman in pink's claim was hard evidence? What? Miss May isn't suspicious, and she sure isn't pink, pal. Yes, she is. Well, I guess she is pink. That's enough. Detective Gumshoe, do you have any more solid proof other than her claims, Detective? I guess pressing can have its advantages. Yes. Ugh. Sorry, I got the order of things mixed up in my testimony, Your Honor, sir. There's something I should have told you about first, Your Honor. Very well, Detective. Let's hear your testimony again. Witness testimony. Hard evidence. After securing the suspect, I examined the scene of the crime with my own eyes. I found a memo written on a piece of paper next to the victim's body. On it, the word Maya was written clearly in blood. Lab test results showed that the blood was the victim's. Also, there was blood found on the victim's finger. Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name. How you like that? That's my hard evidence. Not bad. Before we begin cross-examination, I have a question for you, Detective. Your Honor? Why didn't you testify about this vital piece of evidence the first time? I know. I'm really embarrassed I forgot about it, Your Honor, sir. Try to be more careful. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. Hard evidence. After securing the suspect, I examined the scene of the crime with my own eyes. I found a memo written on a piece of paper next to the victim's body. On it, the word Maya was written clearly in blood. Lab test results show that the blood was the victim's. Also, there was blood found on the victim's finger. Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name. Alright. Give me a sec here. Alright, yep. Alright, I got it. After securing the suspect, I examined the scene of the crime with my own eyes. I found a memo written on a piece of paper next to the victim's body. On it, the word Maya was written clearly in blood. Lab test results showed the blood was the victim's. Also, there was blood found on the victim's finger. Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name. Alright, let's go with this one. What kind of tests were these again? Huh? What kind? Well, I hear they take the, little bits in the blood, the, hermogoblins, hermogoblin, bobbin? I refuse to specify on this matter, sir. I'm no expert on blood tests. Yes, that was quite clear. You may continue with your testimony. Yeah, you got it. Thanks, pal. I mean, Your Honor, sir. Detective Gumshoe. Yeah? I think you can expect a pleasant bonus in your next paycheck. Oh? That was a mess. Right. Where was I? Also, there's blood found on the victim's finger. Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name. You caught that. Mia's autopsy report. Time of death, 9:45, 9 p.m. Cause, single blunt force trauma. Death was instantaneous. It was instant. She couldn't have written the name. Detective Gumshoe, there's one thing I want you to clarify for me here. You say that the victim, Mia Fey, wrote this note. That she was accusing the defendant, Maya Fey? That's really what you're saying? What? This isn't one of those lawyer tricks now, is it? Of course you wrote it. Who else could have? You have it backwards, Detective. Backwards? The victim is the only person who absolutely could not have written it. This is a report from your department, Detective. Immediate death due to a blow from a blunt object. She died immediately. But... no butting your way out of this one, Detective. Order. The defense has a point. Someone who died immediately wouldn't have the time to write anything down. Objection. Mr. Wright. I beg your pardon, but when exactly did you obtain that autopsy report? When? I forget. I'm sorry, I forgot. Forgot, you say. It was the day after the murder, Your Honor. I was the one who handed it to him myself, personally. Oh, right. The prosecution's point being? The autopsy report is outdated, Your Honor. What? A second autopsy was performed yesterday at my request. Death was almost immediate due to a blow from a blunt object. But there is a possibility the victim lived for several minutes after the blow. I received these results this morning. No way. Your Honor, it's quite easy to imagine that the victim did have time to write Maya. That is all. I see. Damn you, Edgeworth. I should have known you'd have something up your sleeve. Why, Mr. Wright, you look shocked. Something you want to say? You're a sham, Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth. I've heard there's nothing you won't do to get your verdict. What reason could you possibly have to request a second autopsy report? Mr. Wright, the defense will refrain from personal attacks on the prosecution. No matter, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, say what you will, the evidence in this report is undeniable. Your Honor, I submit this report to the court. Understood. The court accepts the evidence. Autopsy report updated in the court record. Well, Your Honor, the evidence strongly suggests the victim was identifying the killer. I suppose that's the obvious conclusion, yes. Darn, this isn't good. The prosecution would like to call its next witness. This poor, innocent girl saw the murder with her own eyes. Let the witness, Miss April May, take the stand. Exactly what part of her is innocent? Witness, your name, please. April May, at your service. Order. An introduction should not require any reaction from the crowd. The witness will refrain from wanton winking. Aw. Yes, Your Honor. This is not good. She's already captured the heart of every man in the court. Tell us, where were you on the night of September 5th when the night occurred? The night the murder occurred? Gee, I was, in my hotel room? I checked in right after lunch. And this hotel is directly across from the Fay & Co. law offices. That's right, big boy. Please testify to the court about what you saw. I think I'll actually call it here for today. A good stopping point before the rebuttal and the whatnot. But yeah, this is Phoenix Wright. And yeah, Beatrice, you brought up a suggestion that would probably make a bit more sense. Consecutive days of the same story as opposed to differing ones. So we'll be doing Phoenix Wright again tomorrow as well, and then and then 2 days of Umineko. So yeah. Yeah, we'll save the innocent testimony for next time. Right? But yeah, and you host just as I close. Anywho, see you tomorrow, guys. Hope you had fun. Oh, yep. I gotta first save it. Alright, save to slot 1. I'm using an emulator, by the way, in case you couldn't tell. Anyway, take care, everybody, and have a good one. Have fun.